Yes, try this again after a massive crash, infidels. Just like your stock markets, your bitcoins will crash. Your hopes and fears fall down around you as it's solo Hamin here for AEW Dynamite. Light the fuse, infidels. It's time for the solo bombing run. YOLO! Yes, here we are, yo. Here we are back. Do a little live mix there. That was nice. I don't have to do pre-production later. I was on for a minute here, and I was compressing or exporting the beautiful podcast in the background at 1080p, and the computer did not like that with some live streaming, and boom, massive crash, infidels. But we're back. Nothing can stop us. Nothing can stop the hack attack. YouTube's effing with me. I don't think it was YouTube. I think it was just my computer was mad stressed. And it said it goes, so we encountered an issue. We needed to restart. I think it was just way too much overload on the video card. So back it up, pack it in. Let me begin. I came to win, battle me. That's a sin. But yeah, man, I'm back here. Kind of rocked. Last night was an awesome night in Binghamton. Cut the promo on the infidels and took part in a classic shitty six that was it lived up to the hype of shittiness, I'll say that. But great to be in there with my man Dirty Bomb Dewey, my man Rob Sweet, and obviously the super beast who turned on me. I had to take on last night. He's even bigger, fatter, older, and baller than he was before, but he kicked me right in the fucking jaw. And it was 90% my fault of not having my hand up, but he has got the guy's 400 pounds plus, and he's agile. He blasted me in the face. My jaw's all fucked up. But welcome to professional wrestling. It ain't ballet. Not the shit on ballet dancers. Their feet are all fucked up. They they bust their ass too. But man, I got kicked in the face hard last night. But small price to pay to be back in front of the rabid 2CW audience. Big surprise last night with Dalton Castle coming in to face Moose, Josh Alexander, and Eddie Edwards. Just boom. Awesome match. We had Deonna Purrazzo, Mercedes Martinez last night. Fucking phenomenal as well. Just great stuff going on at 2CW. Hardcore match, Jay Freddy and Jason Axe just carving each other up with tacks and fucking barbed wire. Goddamn, the Killer Steves taking out or trying to take on Rich Swann and Ted Goods and kicking it off last night. That was great. And then Dark Order, Evil Uno and Stu Grayson were in the house to take on Cheech. Well, what are they? Infinity and Beyond, but it's Cheech and Colin Delaney, obviously two great workers there as well. So super card last night. Some other matches I'm glossing over, but we're on to Syracuse tonight, another big night, and it's going to be streamed live on YouTube, 2CW YouTube, so you guys don't want to miss that, man. I mean, just great free for view, really. But people would be paying on Fight for, but that's just how we do it with more and more surprises. I know tonight Enzo and Cass are on the show. We'll see what other surprises come what may. I know I'm gonna get my goddamn revenge after getting kicked in the face last night. My jaw is fucked. Will I be able to put it on for Patreon for review? Yeah, I should be able to. With the Binghamton show, I don't know if he's selling a DVD or what he's gonna do. They were taping it last night. All the boys are in the house. Production was running good. Yeah, and if it's up there, I gladly will. I don't know if I'll put my match. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad, but that's all right, man. I was just happy to be in the locker room with some of the best dudes. I met a guy last night, does this nerd gimmick, Snodgrass. I'd like to beat the shit out of him. Yeah, he's got a punchable face. That was good. But man, Big Moose, dude, the guy's so goddamn lean, man. It's crazy. And it was good to talk to Eddie for a while and Slick Wagner Brown last night. Josh Alexander, he don't say shit in the ring. He don't say shit in the locker room. That guy's a quiet guy, man. Nice guy, though. And then we had Sean Carr, Captain Nick Ando. They tore it down, too. So, but yeah, man, let's check on some AEW news before I got to take off for the next show on the next one. I watched Wednesday. I just been so busy getting kicked in the face last night and getting things pre-programmed for yesterday and today. So here's one we covered quick on. I think we covered it on Monday Locker Room, possibly, and on or Friday Locker Room and Russo Brand. We might have been talking about it off camera on Russo Brand. But backstage news on AEW vice presidents reportedly losing creative power. Interesting. It seems that executive VPs have reportedly lost some of the creative control they once had when launching the company. Cody Rhodes, the Bucks, and Omega, I guess, pretty much have essentially had their power taken away by Tony Khan, because since he's been pretty much handling most of the booking and doing what he wants to do, numbers have gone up. So he's patting himself on the back when the reality is it's, Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. And obviously it's Khan's money. So we had plenty to do with that. And other people coming, that were the crossover of higher, bigger name players. So I know Omega deals with the video games, and I think the Bucks and the wife deal with the merch, which is super smart because those guys are mega merch machines. I just got my pro wrestling tees payout, and I'll say whether it's Colt Cabana, CM Punk, the Bucks, the more time people spend on a site, the better chance there is for conversion. So those guys all, and me too, added in some way to each other's bank account, man. So pro wrestling tees, the success that they've had with those companies, and Hot Topic, they got that deal done before they were even signed. So Bucks with merch, that's just a no fucking brainer as far as I'm concerned, man. Those, because I remember on 2CW when we were running 2014 and their t-shirts were popping off, bro. They would come with 500 at $25 a rip, sell them all. And people couldn't get them. They'd turn right around and go on Pro Wrestling Tees and order them, man. So those guys have helped me make money, and I don't know if it's worked in the other way, but this much. That's not true. At 2CW, we always do that. But that shit is a big thing for independent wrestlers, man. Really is, to be able to have your own merch site and just get paid off your celebrity and the bumps you take, as opposed, I mean, you can get your shirts made and have all overhead. And I even like these shirts. You know what? If you're going to order a pro wrestling t-shirt, and this isn't a paid endorsement, but obviously it is because I fucking get money from them for my shirt sales from you guys. But these are like $6-7 shirts. These pro wrestling t-shirts, they're even more comfortable than the shirts you order from them. Regular time. I'm not sure why, but yeah, they're only like $6. If you want some colorful other shirts, just get a PWT logo shirt. I like them. But who else? And I think that Nick helps out with creative too. Nick Jackson with the Elite stuff. So that's what else I read. But interesting, I guess there's a rift between Cody and the Elite camp as well, which I can see. Cody's got his own thing going on, his own family and fucking reality shows and the big stunt show that he was doing there. So I can understand that too. But I don't know. It seems like Khan has cornered the market and he's more comfortable now. And I'm not sure. I believe Bischoff is on the payroll, and Meltzer is. So I think he just bounces business and strategy decisions off Bischoff, and then off of Meltzer comes up with weird booking sometimes. And now I've seen Cornette change his tune too after ribbing on Omega for so long, and now he's putting over the Daniel Bryan Omega match like it's the greatest fucking thing of the year. So dude, when you swim with the sharks and you deal with these guys who are assassins who've cut throat for years, they just want to check, man, and they'll do whatever it takes. And some of them, their heart's in the right place, so they want shit done. Like, even I think things like when Cornette went in on Miro and Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford, it was hardcore, and it's Rips Rogers style, like burying people with salacious words and shit. But that there's so much truth in everything they say. I'm on Russo brand, but I'm trained by Rip. So that's pretty much identical to having Cornette logic. So a lot of things Cornette says, I completely agree with. And I can see through all the hurt feelings, talk bullshit to see what the actual point he's making is. And it's usually spot the fuck on, but then you saw Miro and them have a big reaction to it. And they're like, now all that's doing is giving Cornette more shine and to come back with the over the top promo. But then after that, they split up and did exactly what Cornette fucking told him to do. And now Miro is the TNT champ. He's got a good gimmick of God's champion and that shit. He looks like a fucking incredible Hulk, like looks great. Kip Sabian, I saw him outside the arena with a box on his head saying forgotten about. That's like his new gimmick or whatever. There's wheels in that, bro. There's definitely, we just saw it with Happy Corbin or whatever, the downtrodden side of it. And his chick has gotten a lot of ring time and she's getting better and she's a draw for sex appeal. So like Cornette's not saying things just to be he is just to be a prick sometimes, but what he's saying, he's not wasting his breath. He wouldn't waste his breath on you if he didn't care. That's what everybody gets so hyped about. Like if I didn't give a fuck about it and like it didn't get me hot because I want the best out of this, I see the potential in something, and it gets me fired up. Now the way my Russo, whoever deals with it might not be the healthiest way in conversation, but if he just thought you were trash and didn't give a shit, he wouldn't even waste his breath on you, So but interesting, man. Trouble in Paradise. I don't know. They're having some success, but there's a lot of stuff that could still be done. A lot of things that need solutions and problem solving, but very, very cool opportunities all the time now. Like, and we're going to talk about it on the show in the open here. Quick numbers from my man MSG. September 29th episode. 1.152 million viewers with a 0.45 in the 18 to 49 demo. That's down from 1.273 the week before. So just about a 6% decrease. Yeah, 7% maybe. And 0.3 in the 18 to 49. They were still number one, I think, on cable in 18 to 49. So that's, I don't know, like all that shit's whatever, just sell advertising. Marks get off on that. I don't understand why, but 1.152. They should be at 2 million, man. If there's 2 million fucking SmackDown viewers, there should be 2 million AEW viewers. Possibly even more. So we got to figure out a way to carry over on Rampage from SmackDown, and we got to figure out a way to get those WWE fans to tune in on Wednesday, because the way this show kicks off, dude, you want to talk about Khan booking. This is interesting to me because people were in the chat were like, what's the main event going to be? Because in the first 12 minutes, dude, Khan fucking empties the clips. Boom, 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 boom. Arn Anderson will later of talent here. So right out of the gate, CM Punk hypes the crowd. And I got to say this before we start, going through the show, it did affect me, not like it's about my feelings and whatever the fuck, but even last night being with Dark Order and talking to Grayson and Uno and putting them over and being like, I'm happy for you guys, man. Like those guys worked 2CW as Super Smash Brothers, and then they got fucked at the border and couldn't cross for like a year. Their careers got fucked up big time, man. And then for them to come back, and now Grayson's just insane, the match he put on last night, with Cheech and Colin. So yeah, dude, like to not be able to go to Brody's show in Rochester. And then I was just talking to one of you guys in DMs on my Twitter, sent me the Blue Cross Arena is not even allowing negative COVID tests for shows. You have to be fully vaxxed. And I wanted to go see Wu-Tang Clan there. And it's just like an insane time of like, what do you do to strike back, and what do you do you just take your money away and let them do that in hopes that your consumer dollar will drive them to change their whatever insane ideology, political policy that's backed up by zero science? Or do you, bite the bullet and just become one of the fucking sheep and do what you got to do? Like, I won't bend and I won't break. And my price is higher than, unfortunately, a wrestling show, which was not the memorial show. Obviously, it was just his homecoming. And I would have liked to have been there, but because I got a lot of good brothers in Rochester that I worked with at UPW, a lot of the Buffalo guys there. You know, I want to celebrate Pepper and Cherry. Hopefully I get to see them today as well. Butcher and Blade and Bunny. And, you know, we all came up together. And then with this bullshit turned in from we care about your health to a political bend the knee, and we're going to use your bread and circuses against you. For the fans, that's one thing. But for those of us who want to fucking not closure. I mean, Brody and I weren't best friends or anything like that. Like, but you know, we hung out a couple times. Uh, like I just wanted to fucking go be a part of that shit, and boom, you can't. You're like caught. Now they're using your own emotions and friendships against you. It's fucked up, bro. And Rochester is one of the shittiest cities in New York, to be honest with you. Not actually, I was in the shittiest city in New York, and that was Binghamton last night. That place is a fucking sty of garbage, like infrastructure falling down, no hope. Like all the buildings are 1970s signs, meth heads and fucking mentally ill people everywhere. It's bad in Binghamton, but Rochester's got a little darker side, but there's so many super highly intelligent IBM doctorate level people there that also are just way into the social justice microcosm. It's like they're not even a part of New York sometimes. Like on the one side of them is Buffalo, on the other side Syracuse. And it's that those are two hardworking towns where people think critically and are pretty toxic. Rochester just falls right into the Democrat, like whatever the line of bullshit is, and they just push it and tow it and they do it. And this is a huge example of it at the Blue Cross Arena. I fucking encourage all my listeners to at Blue Cross Arena on Twitter and tell them how terrible that is. And that's a shit policy. Like if they would accept negative COVID tests, I would do that. And I would do it with, okay, I get why you're doing it. But when you say you can't even have that and you have to do this, you're fucked. You've just exposed yourself and you're fucked. So I won't be going to Wu-Tang Clan. I won't be going to any shows at the Blue Cross Arena in Rochester, but will enough people who are sheep do it that allow that to keep going on? Or will people go, no, fuck you, you're not getting my dollar, and then they'll bend the knee? It's a strange Cold War time where they're using our entertainment against us after they took it away, gave it back. So now you're hooked on it, and now we'll use that as bait. Well, I see the game you're playing, and I'd love to chop you down. So that's my little rant on that for this morning. But yeah, let's get the show. CM Punk kicks it off, coming to commentary. I don't know if this is a good move, man. Like we're overexposing him. He's good on commentary. He popped me later on in the show, huge. But this guy's a special property, and the more we have him out there exposed, but I'll tell you what, he's smart. He's getting his reps in, because Steve even told me this. He goes, dude, this guy's just getting ready to pitch himself for a job for TNT hockey. And I believe that. And I think he'd be great. People would love to have him in retirement years as a hockey commentator. Of course, he'd be awesome, man. So that I think, you know, so then boom, right after that, the show starts in memory of Brody Lee. That's why I said that pumped me up, man. That was good. Dude, Khan's doing classy things. There's the new Brody Lee charity that they're going to put together that is for artists who are trying to get to the next level, or it seems like indie workers or anybody who wants to apply and needs mentorship, fellowship, that those funds are going to be there for that. That's very interesting. I'd like the HMG to be a part of that. CM Punk points. But Punk goes on baby faces. Then we get Adam Cole versus Jungle Boy here, man. Wow. Out of the gate, and they're telling a headlock story back and forth, dude. Cole's going to make me a mark for him, bro. A lot of these other ROH guys I can't get down with because they couldn't change their style or they didn't get it even when they were on the main roster. This is a really fucking good match, dude. And I'm not the biggest Jungle Boy mark because it's whatever. It feels kind of like kiddie porn when I'm fucking seeing this guy out there for some reason. It's weird to me. But you know, Jungle Boy is athletic and can do plenty of shit. And if Adam Cole can lead him, it's good. And Cole sells for Jungle Boy, really shines him up nice. And Cole's sells on the outside are great. I like Shivani going in on Cole. So we have this weird little back and forth underlying feud with the Britt Baker and the girlfriend Meadow. We could do some fun stuff with that. We get a lot of Bouye stuff early on, house show stuff from the Rochester crowd. They're super hot. But let's see. What was the fucking finish on this? JB yanks him back, gets yanked to the floor. JB Jungle Boy runs back and shoves Cole into the rope, getting in the way of the ref. Cole with a low blow. Last shot on JB and covers him 1, 2, 3. So big shine here for Jungle Boy. Hung in with him perfectly fine. Adam Cole, baby, great. Out comes the Elite. So boom, we fired the CM Punk bullet. Jungle Boy's a pretty big bullet for a crowd babyface pop. Adam Cole's a big pop. Right on top of that, we get fucking the Elite. The Elite. Out of the gate, and they cut the promo. Carl Anderson cuts a promo, putting over everybody except the two goofs at the end, which popped me. Nakamura or Nagasaki, what's his name? I can't remember. Naito, one of those, and their other buddy there, but he puts everybody over it. The promo's good, and then Omega gets the mic, and it just kind of becomes wrestly, like, I don't know, man. Like they need to find their voice and whatnot. Nakazawa, that's his name. Shout out Nakazawa. But then out comes Daniel Bryan. So boom, now we've unloaded the full clip, right? Cutlet and not gonna work here no more. Pop. Yeah, dude. This is where I'm kind of like, you're over now. You're using everybody. All these guys that are out here that we've seen in the first 16, 17 minutes should be spaced out throughout the show. If you're going to front load it, it's got to be because of business that's going to happen in the main, but it doesn't. They just they want to keep viewers. I get it. Like, you don't want them to tune out. It's a big strategy. To me, that feels very Bischoff. But what else felt about this? That this was feeling really NWO. Like, this is feeling like in NWO when everybody was joining. Too many bodies in the ring. Not just the core fucking group, right? Like, so I don't know, man. Like, if this was the move, I would have made booking wise. But Daniels comes out, pops the crowd, gets a Kenny No Balls chant going. That was fucking funny. So the crowd's high here, man, and this is a serious wrestling crowd. Vincent is all elite, yeah, right. Once he fucking joined. Backstage, Tony goes to talk with Lucha Bros, but Andrade shows up. You wonder where Pac was. Andrade's assistant says about time they defend those AAA tag titles. Apparently, Andrade has some people who may come for them. Phoenix says any place, anytime. Penta says Cerro Merdo. No fear, bear. Then we get Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson with Brandy Rhodes and Arn Anderson versus Matt Sydal and Dante Martin. Yeah, this was an interesting. Like, I know they've got a little side business and there's Nightmare Family stuff, but Cody's putting himself in matches, maybe to stay warm, but also to get over and work with younger talent and help give them the shine. Not the side that Matt Sydal's younger talent. He's fucking more seasoned than Cody is even, but this was good. Kind of mentors working with the younger guys that they came up with here. So, because Sydal trains, I think Dante trains at Side Dojo, and Dante Martin and Nightmare Factory, right? So the match goes on, dude. Sydal taking some big bumps in this, man. It always scares me, bro, but he's so athletic. But in the end, it's Martin with the roll-up. Johnson hits a thrust kick neck breaker over his knee. Martin's out, pins, and that will do it. So Johnson up. Cody Rhodes and Lee Johnson up with the pin. Knockout blow. But then Cody tries to cut the babyface promo on Aleister Black, Malachi Black afterwards, and Arn is just looking pissed off. And he fucking takes the mic and he starts cutting a promo on Cody about not listening to him. And why'd you come check on me? That shows you're not focused. You're not paying attention. You're taking your boot off in the fucking ring. And then he goes into this hypothetical scenario, which is now a huge meme fodder uh, that I've seen, and it popped me. And it was a good promo. But he invents a hypothetical scenario where if Cody's getting carjacked, Cody gets out and goes, please take my ride. But if Art Anderson's getting carjacked, he pulls out a Glock, puts it to the fucking guy's head, pulls the trigger, and splatters his brains all over the fucking sidewalk. And the crowd pops, but like, dude, because Arn is just going off about being a crazy old man with a Glock who'll fucking splatter your brains out, dude. So to me, this is where I want wrestling all the time. I want the fucking real shit, man. Like, and we don't get it. So it was so shockingly like attitude era. And then he says he doesn't coach losers, and him and Johnson take off, man. And Cody's sitting there kind of like, what the fuck? I thought, you know, all I can think of is Rip going, you think you're over? You ain't over, motherfucker. So good emotion here, good play. And especially with Cody, all that he's got going on, being Hollywood and, you know, taking care of business and his family, and whoa, baby, now that's some wine. You know, and new daddy of Liberty and everything. Like, dude, the rest of these guys are just hungry to go up the roster and get the match. And think about all he's got going on. I'm sure he's pumped to not have the executive vice president stress that he did other places, you know. And there was an EVP joke, extremely violent person, Carl Anderson said in the opening, which to me is after seeing those other stories, is kind of a shoot, bang, bang, where they're EVPs in title only, but, you know, don't worry, he's still an EVP, just an extremely violent person. Okay, there's something in there. Yeah, we need more Tony Soprano promos in wrestling. Group. I gotta watch Many Saints of Newark. Probably. I don't know. I'm not gonna get to watch it today. I just don't have time. I gotta go to the show. John Moxley, Eddie Kingston, Darby Allin with Sting versus Bear Country and Anthony Green. I wonder who's gonna win this one. Yeah, one thing I didn't like in this, dude, because I like the fucking name Bear Country and I like big old hosses, dude, especially when you got two of them. But Darby Allin hits a fucking coffin drop on him on the outside, and they both just fall down. It goes sell because the Darby's over. Nah, that's fucking the perfect spot where Bear Country catches Darby and fucking launches him. And I don't give a fuck if you got plants in the, you could have had all the UPW guys in the crowd and fucking launched them into the crowd, and they could have crowd surfed them back, and then he could have come back battling on them. But dude, Bear Country, younger guys who've got an opportunity, they got to look, but they don't know who they're supposed to be. They're just like, oh, we're in a match with Sting. Yeah, we'll sell. Nah, dude. Darby Allin flying at Bear Country. Bear Country should be able to catch that every fucking single time, man. That was one thing I was like, oh, come on, man. And Darby should have known that because it would have been more impressive, and then they could have fucking upped it, you know? Let's see here. In the end, I think it's Darby up. Violent Crown by Moxley and Kingston, the Lariat German suplex combo on green cover 1-2. That's what it was. Yeah, the fucking Violent Crown. Is that what they're calling it? These fucking names. But yeah, this was all right back and forth, but matches like this, you know, before the bell even rings, bro, when you got the former world champ, TNT champ, and their buddy versus undercard guys. I mean, it's pretty basic booking. So I guess I heard K100 talking about this. Is Moxley cooled off? Like, yeah, he's got the baby and dad stuff too, but he's not pursuing all the rest of that shit. And I like Kingston and him together, but we got no stakes, man. Like, if there was anybody who should be going into war with Penta and Phoenix next, to me, it's those two guys. Not taking these guys on. And, you know, Darby and Stinger just had a classic. They can kind of chill for a minute and let somebody come to them. Or is it going to be the Men of the Year versus Kingston and Moxley? But we need some inciting incident, you know. I'm not sure. That's Paige and Scorpio, Men of the Year. Post-match, Kingston gets a Brody Lee sign. That was classy. I mean, that's the last show I worked with Kingston was in Rochester at UPW, man. So definitely a New York guy through and through. Sting heads in and blasts Green with a Scorpion Death Drop. Kingston holds up the Brody Lee sign. Ruby Soho's backstage. She said she never felt like she had so many people in her corner against Britt Baker. Britt says they just like the song, not Soho. And Baker's just proven again that she's the most dominant. Soho says she'll work her way back up and come back for the title. She calls her Ruby No. That fucking made me laugh. Matt Hardy says a year and a half ago he was supposed to debut in Rochester, New York. Then he was deleted because the thought of Rochester didn't deserve a legend like him. It's an awful town. Cassidy's music hits. I couldn't agree more with Matt on that one. And I was pumped for that too. That was going to be a big fucking debut and the other homecoming. And before all this shit hit, it's just like, fuck. HFO versus the Dark Order and Orange Cassidy in a massive cluster of a match, which is weird because as we're coming into this is where the con booking and those guys not having to say is kind of weird to me. And I didn't ask Uno and Grayson last night because I don't want to be a dick, but I'll see what's up. Dark Order is kind of split, and where the fuck is Hangman Page? He's not even in the picture at all. Dude, you want to talk about somebody who got fucked over by Daniel Bryan and CM Punk and Malachi Black coming in, man. Holy shit, dude. Adam Page is right out of the picture. I hope he's not hurt, and if he is, I hope he's resting and healing up. But they took all the shine off of him, man. That was crazy. And since then, Dark Order has been kind of on implosion, I guess, in little ways with Hannah J and them telling the girl to fuck up or whatever. No real focus there. And I would have liked to have seen something going into the Brody homecoming. So this breaks down with Dark Order on Dark Order until Brody's wife, Amanda, -1 come down and send the boys back to the ring. And we get a big, we're on the same page. And it's a big Dark Order moment up in the end. So it worked. But I've got ideas for Dark Order that could go, Let's see. Excuse me, guys. Oh yeah, they threw the papers. That was funny. George, and I was also glad to see Jorah Joel in there. Yeah, to me, he's the Punjabi Lion. That I've worked a lot of indie shows with him. What a class act that guy is that was taking heat. The new Indian guy that's in there is Jack. If you don't know George Joel, give him a follow. Like, the guy can do it all. GGP and I have worked with him a fair amount, man. And that guy is an absolute pro that I would give 100% endorsement to anybody to bring him in. You wish you had 100. When I would have guys like we were working Immortal or even Dynasty, and you got him, GGP, Rich Holiday. I won't put myself in the same category as those three in ring wise, but me, and a Recon and a Blaze, you got a good ass roster of wrestlers, bro. Like, there's a lot of guys that are just hoping to get their shot after 10, 15, 20 years that are such seasoned top pros, man. And George Joel's one of them. Absolutely. So Dark Order's up with Orange Cassidy via pinfall. Post-match, big hug, posed down with -1, and Amanda was really great feeling. Then we get a fucking the man of the hour, Leo Rush, Mr. Indestructible here, man. I mean, quits, retires, fired, comeback, gets a wild card, poker tournament to chip, whatever, hurts himself, gets rehired again. And now this time he's not even athletic or a rapper. He's an investor. He invests in Bitcoin and properties and bets against leverages against margins. And that's how he gets the cash to support his people. Okay. Well, I sent him a tweet this morning that said, should I sell or hold my AMP Bitcoin or my AMP coin? So we'll see if I get any sound investment advice. Weird. Then FTR says after having to stay down for a little bit due to Cash Wheeler's arm injury, they're revitalized, ready to come back. That's bad news for everybody in the tag division. Okay. Then we get Lambert in the ring with Men of the Year, and Lambert cuts a little bit of the promo. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy, and even Sky gets a little bit in, but then Ethan Page takes over, bro. And Ethan Page has worked his ass off to get in great shape. Another dude, big respect for, who's got it, and worked shows with him in Rochester too. But he lays it down about being overlooked and that kind of shit, and enough's enough. I like these fiery shoots from guys who are impassioned, who know they got a lot to offer, but they're getting overlooked because all these other dudes. Because guess what? We've been overlooked our whole career because of somebody else. That's how it goes until you get your spot. And then when you're there, all these other guys with more legacy keep coming in, and you get marginalized again. Oh, next week will be. Oh, next week will be. Oh, next week. Okay. And I'm going to go out and make myself undeniable. And some guys will just take it and collect a paycheck and keep going and never get to where they need to be to realize their full potential. Other guys will rock the boat and say, hey, if I'm going to burn bright and for a short amount of time, I'm going to burn as bright as possible. And this, to me, Ethan Page, was him stepping out right here. I like this. He's good. Big respect for all of them, Scorpio Sky and Dan Lambert. Dan Lambert's a brilliant businessman, trainer, and promo. So Scorpio Sky's a natural baby face, though. That's a problem. And it's not a problem like he's a problem, but like we're not getting max value out of him as a heel. The guy will be over as a major baby. Hikaru Shida's looking for 50th AEW win. Lots happening in her career, including being the longest reigning champ. I like scoff at that because I'm like, yeah, the company's only been in business for 2 years. And then boom, my girl Serena Deeb says she ain't getting her 50th on her. That ain't no way. The professor of professional wrestling is about to lay it on her. So next week we get Shida versus Deba, and we'll see. My money is on Serena. The Bunny and Penelope Ford versus Anna Jay, Ty Conti. All these girls look good in their new matching gear. Good. Whoever's making their stuff, it looks really great. All of them are super attractive, so that's not a problem. There was a lot of missed stuff on here. A big knee on the outside on Bunny, which she sold like $1 million, but it missed by about 8 inches. Which is, we just got to get better, and we will the more we work together. But in the end, after a lot of tag team tandem wrestling here, it's a Jay with a dangerous J kick into the Queen Slayer, which is choke out, tap out, and Ford gets tapped or knocked out. So that'll do it. But afterwards, with babies up, Ty Conti and what's the young lady's name? Ty Conti and Hannah J. I always call her Hannah, but it's Anna. Anna J. Down comes -1 because when his father passed, they were like, the big sister consolers. But at the end of the day, it's hot chicks too. But you're a kid and your dad's gone. You're not realizing it. But a year later, he comes marching right down there to be a part of the babyface beauty shot celebration. And Punk goes, smart kid. Which underlyingly means while he's getting hugged on both sides from two super hot divas, like, hey, let me get some titty on either side of me. And Punk was just putting it over with a fucking quick one, man. It made me laugh hard. But hey, good for -1. Get those older chicks, bro. Jade Cargill's on Rampage Friday versus Thunder Rosa versus Nyla Rose. So that'll be interesting. Hopefully Thunder Rosa doesn't get hurt because she's a competent worker. MJF heads out of the ring with Wardlow. Interesting. A good promo here. Talks about all the people he's beat and then glosses over Darby. He says, whatever. Made me laugh. That was good too. But then he fucking turns on some Arn Anderson type shit and says that, out of all the cons in the wrestling business, Tony's his favorite. Two. So now we're talking Nick Khan without saying his name. And then he goes right in about, if I don't get my title shots and shit, I've got my buddy from MLW, Bruce Pritchard, on speed dial. I'm like, wow, dude, dropping Ducey's name. This is not a no-no, but why give other people airtime from other shows? For the salaciousness, maybe. Or is Deuce coming over? Maybe Deuce is done with Vince. I don't know. It's a hot little thing there, but MJF cuts a hell of a promo. And then Darby comes down and does the opposite, stays more silent, lets him kind of give him enough rope to hang himself. Darby needs to work on finding his voice some. I know that's not his strength, but doesn't mean we can't work on it and make our weakness into our strength. And then MJF even calls out his Batman voice, which popped me because he's trying to be a little bit of that. But I'm fine with it, but let's turn it up because he's not committed to even that. If he's going to do that, we got to commit, no matter how low level or whatever it is, And then he asked him about being straight edge, and there was a CM Punk chance and shit going out. But like, dude, the straight edge thing with Punk is interesting. That's interesting to me. They should do something with that. But then MJF gets really dark and talks about a car ride Darby took with his uncle, and they got in an accident. His uncle was wasted, and his uncle died, and he tells him the wrong guy died. I'm like, I'm down for cheap heat, bro. That's one way to go. Like, whatever. But they call him an asshole. And then MJF tells him to keep talking. He won't be broken. MJF says that's fine. And MJF Powders decides to leave. Interesting. But nothing with Wardlow. I think we missed an opportunity in a moment in a game because we've set the seeds for Wardlow to turn. There should have been some little fucking one little thing in there we needed for a Wardlow spot. I saw the MJF parents sign too there. Says they had a sign says we don't like him either. I'm MJF's parents. That was funny. It's good stuff, man. That's commitment to the bit. They billboard next week's Dynamite. Then in our main event, we get Miro and Sammy Guevara. Not how I would have started this. I would have liked to see him out quick Miro like we saw with Del Sol, Fuego del Sol a couple weeks ago. I think that was a good way, and you could retell that story in the beginning in a different way until he gets it. But Miro gets on him pretty quick after Sammy goes for the strikes and works good heat on him. But then Sammy kind of comes back too much alive. He does get this insane fucking vault over the ring post, twisting onto the outside, man. What a dangerous fucking risk to take, but the guy sticks it like he's a pro gymnast, you know what I mean? So I got to give him his respect on that high flying shit. I'm glad guys like that are on the show because you ain't never going to see my big ass fucking doing that. Fuck that. Miro lifts and launches Guevara. Miro with a short arm lariat. Another one. A crowd asking for another one. A third one. Miro charges in, ends up taking a Spanish fly by Guevara. That was impressive and believable because it's a momentum piece. It's not like I got to muscle you up, and it's not believable that could happen. The way fucking Miro took it was great. Miro looks incredible. That Florida water, fuck, it'll get you going. Waist lock sends him over. Sammy lands on his feet. Miro on the floor. Guevara hits that wild flip over the ring post. Man, it was nuts. If you guys haven't seen that, it's worth going back watching the highlight on YouTube probably. Drags Miro into the ring. He goes up to the top, jumps, rolls through, looks for the crossbody. Caught. Miro whips him down on the mat. Cover two. Miro's pissed now. He looks for the big kick, but nope. He gets a knee strike by Sammy and another one. Guevara to the apron, hits the enziguri. Hacha slaps his leg up to the top rope. Miro clocks him in the head and goes to the second rope. Then Guevara with a headbutt to shut Miro off and hits a super cutter. Guevara tries for the finish, but he can't lift Miro and eats a single leg kick in the face. False E2 count. He looks for game over, and then Sammy rolls out of bounds. Rolls off from the ring. Miro decides to rip all four turnbuckle pads off. That was good. I like that. I was like, all right, something interesting is going to happen. But then they didn't use them how they should have in the end, but whatever. Fuego gets in the face of Miro and gets punched off the apron. Guevara hits the knee strike and sends Miro face first in the turnbuckle. Tornado DDT on Miro. He goes for the go to hell and hits it. Gets him up this time after trying to tease it earlier. That was good. Guevara sets him up, hits the 630 senton, comes in a little short, but covers 1, 2, 3, and you got a new TNT champion. Good main event, yo. People are like, this is the main event. I'm like, fuck yeah, it's for the title. It's the main event, yo. And you get a big upset victory with Sammy Guevara here. I thought that Miro would retain. That's a weird booking decision on a Wednesday night to me. I like the match. I don't think it's a terrible choice. It's just an interesting. I'm like, where are you going to go with that? And why Miro was on such a tear? Would you take it off of him? You know what I mean? Um, I think it's too early to take it off him, and I don't think Sammy needs it. So that, I don't know. There must be something else at play here, and we'll find out sooner or later, I'm sure. But this was a good match, man. But an interesting booked show, and I think it held everyone's attention all the way through. And and normally I wouldn't say don't fire all your bullets, have better creative all the way through, but maybe it was a interesting choice in the beginning to have Punk, Bullet Club, Adam Cole, Jungle Boy, and then Daniel Bryan all in the first 20 minutes to hold your audience. But did they stay for this main event? And if they did, this main event delivered. So there's just a couple things that I might switch up, but I like this show. I thought it paced and went along fine. And even though my feelings were, on my sleeve a little bit about not being able to be there right down the road for the Brody show to pay my respect. And then whatever is going on with Serena, like I'm pumped for her. So I'm glad she's back. That's the main thing. So yeah, man. And I'm pumped because tonight it's 2CW, more AEW surprises, more forbidden doors, more dream bookings, more crazy fans, more me getting that big heat, man. And I'm going to beat the shit out of Super Beast for kicking me in the fucking face last night. So I didn't watch the Grand Slam show. I was on my way back. I was in Jamaica. So, and I wish I was in Jamaica now. Not that, being back in the saddle and doing business it excites me. I like it, but man, that was just a great week of being able to unwind with my wife and be on the beach and enjoying everything, man. Just enjoy being human on this big planet and feeling real small being in the ocean and just getting back to it. So, but y'all, I appreciate you guys joining me live here. The Friday locker room audio is free up and now. It's patreon.com/Hamin Media Group, videos on the $1 tier. So if you guys want to kick in, go ahead. I think we're pretty close on Channel Attitude. They're just hooking up PayPal. Hey pal, yeah. I tested everything with Vimeo and the Podbean links, so it should be working hopefully maybe by next week. I'm not sure. I know Jeff is on vacation this weekend, so if you don't see anything Russo brand email wise, that's why. Let him. He's been going right at too, so it's time for him to decompress a little bit, and hopefully by Monday we'll be right back on our game. So yeah, man. AEW this week, I thought a solid show, interesting show. Not how I would have written it, but I don't think didn't leave me going, what? Why did you do that? Like shows a year ago did. So maybe with Bischoff and maybe it's Cornette. Maybe there's a silent brain trust and Khan's keeping them on the payroll and taking their advice and applying it as best he can. And pretty interesting, man. I owe the whole industry a receipt. You goddamn right on that one, buddy. I'm going to get it tonight. So y'all tune in 7:30 Eastern time, 2CW YouTube. Go over now and subscribe and set the notifications and we'll be on, man. It should be an awesome show tonight from Syracuse. But it's Hacker Hamin Infidels. Appreciate you guys subscribing, checking out all we got going on, all the pro wrestling teas, Broasters Coffee, Zordos Olive Oil. You know where it's at, man. Everybody's supporting us. Big things on the horizon for Stevie Ray TV. Amber Neal brand. I gotta start the beautiful people re-edit right now because it crashed the computer. But y'all, you know where to find us. We're in the Udio with who you know. It's Hacker Hamin. Light the fuse, infidels. Y'all.